Hello, healthy people, and thanks for joining us again here on our channel, Vitality Now. And we are going to continue the conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about two things. We want to talk to you about why you should avoid drinking carbonated beverages with your meals. And we're also going to be talking about those crispy potato skins and why those are not so good for you.
That's right. But before we do, see this? I got a boo-boo right here. And that happened because I was trying to empty a trash can in the dark. And in LA, we have these trash cans with these huge lids on them that you can prop up. And I started shaking the can when I was emptying the trash, and the lid came crashing down on the bridge of my nose and left a mark right there. It even bled.
Oh.
And my wife felt sorry for me and said, "Don't do it again." And hey,
He'll survive.
But now let me put these back on so I can see the cue cards.
As many of you guys may know, when you were a child and you had an upset stomach, what did your mom do? She would give you 7-Up. I know my mother would give me a 7-Up or a ginger ale. And it was a delight to have that. But drinking it did help with the upset stomach. So carbonated beverages will settle a stomach. However, eating them with a meal, and that could be any type of carbonated beverage. It could be a carbonated soda, carbonated wine, or even carbonated water. It interferes with the digestion of your food. So if you like those drinks, drink them between meals, but not during meals.
Right, and what it is that actually interferes with your digestion is the carbon dioxide. That's what makes the bubbles. And carbon dioxide has an ability to neutralize stomach acid. Now, stomach acid really should be on a pH scale of about 1 or 2 at the most. In other words, a very low number represents acid, and a high number represents alkalinity. So keep that stomach acid low. Now, you won't know necessarily what level of acid is in your stomach, but I'll tell you this: if you ever run into acid reflux or GERD and that sort of thing, indigestion, chances are your acid is too low, not too high, as many others think.
It's too low.
Yeah.
Which means it's more alkaline.
Well, meaning the amount of acid is too low. The pH level is not low enough.
Okay. You know, I know my mother has oftentimes said to me, her doctor tells her not to eat salt or restrict her salt intake. And she believes that because of what her doctor tells her, that if she eats salt, it'll raise her blood pressure. She doesn't have high blood pressure, but the scare from her doctor is don't eat salt.
And salt is an important component of stomach acid. After all, salt is sodium chloride. And chloride is one of the main components of stomach acid. So we suggest and advise that you salt your food according to taste. Now, contrary to popular belief, salt does not give you high blood pressure. That is another issue in itself. It will raise blood pressure, but it does not give one high blood pressure. It's a nutritional deficiency, which we'll get into at another time.
So it's a temporary raising of the blood pressure.
Yes, it will temporarily raise your blood pressure, and it's necessary for electrolyte balance in your system, which is like the electricity that runs through your body that keeps your heart beating.
Okay, so hopefully, if you guys have any questions about, salt restricted diets or what salt does or doesn't do, it's an important mineral. So we highly recommend you include Himalayan pink salt in your diet and not restrict salt, because it's an important mineral that your body needs, and it does help you with the acidity in your stomach to digest the foods that we eat.
And why Himalayan salt? Because it has trace minerals. So even if you've been told sea salt is better than table salt, well, it's a little better. But any salt that doesn't have minerals in it, that has been bleached white, even if it's sea salt, then the nutrition has been removed from it. So we suggest that you avoid any other types of salt. There's Himalayan salt, there's Russian salt, there's different kinds of salts, but they have, if they still have the little colored granules, which is the trace minerals, then we advise you use those types of salts.
Right now we want to talk about the crispy potato skins. We had potatoes this evening, but what we did was we took these little golden potatoes, these miniature potatoes, and we boiled them until they were soft, and then we, you know, seasoned them and put butter on them and consumed them, and they were delicious. So we're not lacking anything. We're not wanting you to lack anything, but you know, those crispy potato skins, or any potato skin that's cooked, you know, roasted, fried, grilled to a high temperature, the potato skin is not good for you. As a matter of fact, at that point, the chemicals in that potato skin becomes carcinogen.
Carcinogen, right? It's carcinogenic. It's loaded with HCAs, and HCAs are heterocyclic amines, and they cause 3 types of cancer.
Yes, they do. Those would be prostate cancer, breast cancer, and colon cancer.
Right, so avoid baked potato skins. Now, the baked potato itself is fine. Just don't eat the skin. Okay? Crispy, those hors d'oeuvres or those appetizers that you get at restaurants where they load them up with cheese and oil and fat, and the fat, you know, fat's good, but it's the potato skin itself that it has a known carcinogen in it. And the reason why we boil potatoes, if we want to eat the skin, is because then the potato never reaches a temperature above 212 degrees, and that's where water boils, as most of us know.
Well, I didn't know that, but now I do. So again, we thank you for listening. We have a couple more episodes to talk to you about in regards to the foods that you should avoid for better health. And hopefully you guys are starting to use your imaginations and think about ways that you can eat these foods that we all love, but eat them prepared in a different way, so that you can